Hey everybody, it's me, Bryson Booker, and I just got a new mixer from Guitar Center. I traded my old Behringer Xenix in to get this Mackie Mix 5. The reason why I did that is because I'm praying and hoping that the Mackie, well, obviously, I can probably guarantee that it will, but the Mackie will definitely have better preamps than the Behringer. The Behringer pre's were getting very, very noisy and very, very annoying, and I was kind of getting sick of that. As well as they just have a really thin sound, and I just really wasn't wanting to tolerate that anymore. And these types of mixers I use for making my videos, the audio in my videos, as well as when I have a gig that only requires like one vocal mic and then playback for music or a couple of music sources. I really didn't need anything that big. The Xenix had 2 microphone inputs, so I lost 1 microphone input, but whatever. Personally that's fine with me. It's got 2 stereo inputs, so I can run an MP3 as well as maybe an iPad or whatever to play music on. Or, another use that I thought of for this is kind of using this to act as a makeshift DI. That's probably not recommended, but, if I had a keyboard, I can run one keyboard here and the other keyboard here, and then send the main out to my board, so I can have 2 keyboards on one line. Again, that's not really recommended, but, this is just another use for this. Sending this to, a camcorder, video recorder, broadcasting, whatever. This is a pretty flexible mixer for my needs, and it's a lot smaller than the Behringer was. So even though the Behringer 802 was small, this is even smaller, and I can definitely see myself using most of the functions on this than I ever would have on the Behringer. So I'm going to unbox it and take a look at it, give you my first impressions, and maybe even give you a sound demo. So let's do it. Okay. I don't know if that's in the camera shot, but just ripping off plastic. Okay, we got these. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Facebook. I really don't want to follow them. I don't have any social media, so that doesn't pertain to me. Watch our dang videos. Mackie, still the creative people of consumer musicians. Alright, so we open the box. You got our power adapter. So this is the power adapter that comes with the mixer. Got some foam, and then out pops the mixer itself. So here is the Mackie 502 mixer. Sides are plastic, and I think the front of it is aluminum. I believe that's what it looks like. So we have 1 mic input, 2 stereo inputs, headphone out, main out, tape in and out. The knobs feel decent, for the most part at least. I like how you can feel the center detent on the EQ, so you're at unity, because there's a center detent. You can feel a click. The gain doesn't have that though. Right, mains. That's it. Pretty simple, straightforward mixer. also get a instruction guide or quick start guide if you need that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't really think I need this quick start guide. I know how to work a mixer. And that's all that came in the box. Okay, this is what it looks like, and this is what it came with. Alright, so I'm going to plug it up, maybe play with it for a couple of minutes, and maybe I'll give you guys a sound demo. Well, I probably will give you guys a sound demo. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. Okay, everybody, so I hooked up the Mackie Mix 5 to my camera, as you can hear. So this is what it sounds like, and this is what it sounds like with all EQ set flat. Again, because of the type of EQ this is, I only have 12 kilohertz, that's highs, and 80 hertz, that's bass. So you don't get much as far in terms of EQ, as far as shaping the voice, so I could sound more natural. You don't get that functionality on this mixer, but for the applications it's being used for, it performs decently. Not spectacularly, but decently for what it can do. I'm using an SM58 from Shure to do this demo, and so I just cut a bit of, well, now the EQ is set flat. I cut a bit of bass before, but this is it set flat. And then here's me cutting a little bit of bass. And again, since this console doesn't have a mid-range control, I kind of have to boost the highs just a little bit to kind of bring out the presence in my voice, as well as some of that upper mid stuff, kind of put it back in here. And so I just boosted the highs a little bit and cut some of the bass, and this is how I sound on a Mackie Mix 5 EQ'd. The preamp is surprisingly silent. It's a quiet preamp, guys. One of the main issues that I had with my Behringer Xenix, and this is kind of a new problem. Well, it hasn't really been new, but ever since I've been making YouTube videos using that mixer, it's been pretty darn noticeable. And those of you that have been watching my YouTube videos probably have noticed this too, but those preamps on that Behringer were just so doggone noisy. But here, honestly, guys, these pre's seem to be a bit more quieter than the Behringer pre's. And it's a bit warmer than what the Behringer could do. You know, Mackie, they don't make grade A pre's either. You know, they're kind of in the B plus or C level grade of pre's, but they're definitely a step above Behringer by a long shot. And here I can definitely tell, because, you know, I sound pretty transparent and pretty clear. There's no fizzing, there's no fuzz. You know, even if I cranked that pre all the way up, which I did before I plugged it into my camera, I just cranked the pre all the way up to see if I heard any audible noise, and it was surprisingly quiet. And so I'm slightly surprised about that, because generally Mackie pre's, they're a little bit noisy, but not as noisy as those stupid Behringer pre's on that Xenix. But definitely an improvement. Again, the EQ is not the greatest, but for what this console is being used for, music playback and simple vocal reinforcement, as well as making these YouTube videos, I think it's pretty suitable for what it could do. And I'm pretty satisfied with it so far. The construction of it is pretty decent, pretty rugged. You know, Mackie quality, you just can't beat it in terms of durability. I mean, they're definitely number one when it comes to durability. And so my Behringer lasted 6 years. I think this Mix 5 will probably last even longer than the Xenix. And it'll sound great as long as the Xenix did, or probably even more than the Xenix did too. And so I'm definitely happy with this purchase, and maybe you guys will give it a try. It's the Mackie Mix 5 series console. Check it out.